Let's make a couple of cards today, and I'm starting with the Build a Garden monthly series by Altenew. This is a lovely design, really huge, which is going to take a lot of space on your cards, and it gives you a design of a couple of anemones, large and big ones, you can see that better here, as well as succulents. Along with this stamp set, there are coordinating products like the dies and the stencils, which is going to make your life super easy. So I'm starting by stamping the huge design on top of white cardstock. I'm using my stamp wheel here. So just to make sure that I get a good impression, I need to stamp this a couple of times since it is such a big stamp. Now also here I need to let you know that this video is part of a video hop as we celebrate the June release by Altenew. So there are lots of giveaways to be won. You will find all the info down below in the description, and in the description you will find the next stop on the hop. I will be working on my stamp wheel for completing this card just because I like this sticky mat, and but however I need to clean it up first before I move on. And here are the stencils. Now the set of stencils gives you 5 different layers that you can align on top of your image and color pretty much everything. I have said it before and I'm going to say it again. Lately I don't have the patience to color with markers inside the lines and do all that blending and everything. So my go-to technique lately is using stencils to color my images. It gives me an opportunity to play with my dye inks. It gives me the pleasure to do ink blending as well as shading through the stencils, and the result is always beautiful. Plus it doesn't take me so much time, so I can easily recreate the same design, the same card, but using a different color combination. And a few tips that I like to do to make this process really easy and so enjoyable is that I like to work on those sticky mats. You can see it holds not only my stencil in place without moving, and my paper of course, but I also place my ink pad on top of the sticky mat as well, as you can see, and I can ink up my blending tool without the ink pad going all over the place. I can do the whole thing with just one hand. So I am just playing with pinks here, and I'm also using a smaller blending brush, as you can see here, to add some shading at the center of the petals, but this is really not something that you have to do. The stencils are going to help you give the shading that you need. I just want to take it a step further. So this is how my animals are looking at the moment. There is one more layer that you can do for the top of the animals, and that's the one that is going to take them to the next level with all the shading. This is where I'm going to apply my darkest shade. Now of course you don't have to use all the layers. For example, I could have stopped before doing that. It really depends on the look that you are going for, on how involved you want to be on your ink blending, but the layers are there for you of the stencil so that you can mix and match them or use them all. Another tip that I can give you for this process with the stencils is to always keep some masking tape handy. This is going to help you cover up some areas that you don't want to apply ink through. So here I'm just going to go and use my green shades to color the leaves as well as the succulents. Again here notice that I'm doing some shading through the same layer of stencil with a couple of green colors, but again it's not important to do that. There are other layers that you can place, like this one for example, which is going to give the shading for you. I just always want to take it a step further and just mix more than 2 colors. Now I'm also doing the centers. For the centers I went with grays, and there are 3 layers for the centers, and you can see it already is looking gorgeous. And imagine all the color combinations that you can do with these stencils. Also you don't have to use greens for your leaves, you can just play with all different kinds, so every time you can get a completely different look. Now this panel is ready. You can just stamp a sentiment and finish it off, or you can take it a step further. I just used the matching die so that I can cut it out and pop it on top of my card base. And for the background, I'm going to add a little bit of interest and texture by using my relief paste, a stencil. And I chose for the relief paste to use this color. This is the pearl one, and if you ask me, if you need to buy just one of those relief paste, just go with this color. It is neutral. It is going to match every project that you are making by adding just enough texture at the background without turning any project busy. So no matter how busy the stencil is, this is always going to look nice and elegant. Now I use pastes and stencils all the time, and I'm confident into using them without sticking one on top of the other. If you are not very experienced with this process, make sure that you use some masking tape so that the stencil is not going to move on you. And then I'm just going to I'm applying a nice and thick layer. I want to have a good texture here, but look how gorgeous it looks already. I didn't apply it all over my background just because most of it is going to be covered by the beautiful flower composition. And also notice that I did use some press and seal wrap just to make sure that this opened jar is not going to dry on me. So now I'm going to use some foam tape at the back and then stick it on top of my panel. And I have already prepared my sentiment that says love you, again from the same stamp set as the flower composition. I just stamped that with black ink and used the matching die to cut it out, and I'm just going to place it on top of my card. I think that the card is looking stunning, and I know that you will see lots of color combinations for these flowers. It's always going to be just beautiful. Now you can finish off your card by adding some shine. I'm going to use some sequins from this iridescent pack, the Stellar sequins by Altenew. I absolutely love this pack because it gives you all the different sizes from super tiny to really big ones. I'm just going to add a few at the center of my flowers. And to finish it off, since it does have that artistic look, I'm going to add some white splatters. You don't have to do it. I know that white splattering is not for everyone, but I absolutely love the look. And you can see some close-up photos here where you can see all the details better. And now let's create one more fun card for today where I will be using 3 coordinating products again. These are the elegant bows. You get the die, the embossing folder as well as the stencils, which is going to give you an opportunity to play with so many color combinations. So I'm starting by embossing a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 panel, and you will see that it is going to give you lots and lots of dimension. It is a 3D embossing folder. Look at that. I hope that it shows on camera well. And then I'm going to place the stencils on top and start playing. You can go monochromatic if you like, or you can mix and match colors. The stencil set gives you 4 different layers of stencils. So let's start playing. Again, I'm playing on top of my stamp wheel so that I can hold the stencil on top. And then I'm also going to bring one of those alignment corners. These are going to help me align the second stencil and then the third and the fourth without having to align anything. You just do the alignment one time and then it's such an easy process. Now I want to have a really happy and colorful result, so I went with bows that are pink, some are yellow. There are also blues as well as greens. Use a small blending tool so that you can concentrate ink into smaller areas easily. And then here is how I do the alignment of the next stencil, super easy with the corners. And I can continue inking up the other part of the bows, which are the tails here. And then there are other areas where are the inside of the bow that you need to color darker. Just play with your inks. No matter what you do, it's going to look just fine. So after all the 4 layers, here is how it looks. and I'm going to zoom in for you so you can hopefully see all the dimension that I've got with the dimensional bows. Now this is a panel that you can use as it is, or you can take it a step further. Now I was really afraid to use the die on top and separate all those bows because I was afraid that if I ran it through my die cutting machine I might lose all that dimension. But for the sake of this video and for you guys, I'm going to sacrifice it. So I decided to run it through my die cutting machine and see what happens. Finally, it ends up just fine. You do get all the embossing and the detailing with no issues at all. Although you run it one more time, it's not squeezed, and you will see what I mean in the final photos with the close-ups. So what I'm going to do now is to just use the negative space as my guide so that I can layer all those bows on top of a panel by using foam squares at the back. Now, again, this is just taking the same design a step further. You don't have to do that. You can use the embossed panel as it was before. However, I'm just doing things like that because I don't know when to stop with my card designs. Now I'm going to remove the negative since I don't need it anymore, and really you can just align the bows that you cut out in any way that you like. However, there are so many that I'm sure I wouldn't be able to align them as perfectly as they look now. So nice and dimensional, this panel is perfect to just stick it on top of your card base, and all you have to do is to just add the sentiment. You can see the details better here as well as the embossed effect. As always, you will find links to everything I used down below in the description. Don't forget to leave a comment so that you can enter the giveaway and check out the next stop on the hop.